Player 4 Podcast's first t-shirt is now on sale at tpublic.com. Ever wonder what it takes to make a good podcast? We've already done the math for you and put it on a t-shirt. Visit our storefront at tpublic.com/user/P4Podcast and get yours today. That's tpublic.com/user/P4Podcast.
This is the Player 4 Podcast. Join us each week as we talk about video games, entertainment, and pop culture, and bring in guests from the Rooster Teeth Community. Player 4 has entered the game.
For all you crazy RTX people that are on the way to that crazy convention, this is the P4 Podcast to kill some time on the trip.
Was that the crazy intro for all the crazy people?
Yes.
I don't know, it was pretty crazy.
Hello,
God,
I am Tristan.
God damn it.
So we were talking just earlier this week about how every time Alex says that, it's at Tristan. So here's proof.
It's usually Tristan.
I'm gonna say it's reflexive, because you're the one who was talking.
Well, I was going to say that it's crazy to think about that we're doing this podcast now, and we could end up listening to it while we're traveling, except I'll already be in Austin by Thursday if we release it then.
Okay, so Alex,
I think
you know
it'd be
how
crazy if everyone was made of iron.
you know no, that would be ironic, perhaps. But you know how I'm always mad at people in Minecraft for saying I'm over here. Well, Alex just said we're recording this now. Like, how do people know when we're recording?
We're recording this now on June 22nd, 2016.
Yes,
at
June
8:50
22nd.
p.m. Central Time.
And we've already done part 1. This is a 2-parter episode. I'm having trouble talking again. Episode 70 was the one we just got finished recording. This episode 71, part 2. And Tristan should be allowed to introduce himself now so we can introduce ourselves.
Is it okay? Are you sure?
Is it okay, son?
Okay.
Is it okay, son?
Is it okay if I build this house, son?
Hi.
Hello, I am Tristan, aka Shagrazir, on the Rooster Teeth website.
I'm Alex, a.k.a. Chaos Black 21.
I am Malachi, a.k.a. Suki Kiba.
And I'm Joseph, a.k.a. J Dunlap or Trollsif Punlap.
Oh boy, he's trolling us again.
So by now, that poll that we will have put out following the release of episode 69 should have already finished, and I should have already finished editing the best of P4 video that we're going to have at our panel RTX. So to past Joseph, currently I'm past Joseph. On behalf of future Joseph, thank you, present Joseph. Wait, I'm confused now.
Oh my goodness.
That
All I
reminds me
know
of
is past Alex is future Tristan's problem.
Yeah, see, that was one thing we were going to talk about,
Yeah,
right?
He can sort this out for us.
That was something we were going to talk about, right? Things that got cut from previous episodes.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about RTX first, and then go on to that?
We could talk about RTX first. We had a cliffhanger at the end of last episode, so how long do we want to make people wait for that?
That's going to get cut.
What's with the cliffhanger? Okay, fine. You wanted the cliffhanger. Go ahead. I appreciate at least that you were considering my feelings when you decided to not prolong episode 70. So why don't we go ahead and finish the cliffhanger? I won't cut it. I'm nice. I will have not cut it. Let's talk about Chibi real quick.
Just so that everybody has a payoff, we're going to start with the conclusion to the cliffhanger, which was we wanted to talk about the newest episodes of RWBY Chibi, which Alex and I have been keeping up with. And Alex was very excited to tell you what that was.
Pyrrha returned.
The return of Pyrrha. And this is odd. This is odd for a different reason than it should be odd. What we were told by the creators and by Rick himself when we were first probing about RWBY Chibi was that it would be set in the time between seasons 2 and 3. So it would have all the information that you had at the end of season 2, but season 3 wouldn't have happened yet. So logically, Pyrrha would still be alive. Yet when she and Team Juniper finally make an appearance on RWBY Chibi, which I think all of us have been waiting for, everybody in the show reacts as though Pyrrha is dead already, which doesn't make sense with the timeline we were given.
Except for Nora, who says that it didn't happen.
Well, that can be taken in so many different ways. Like, that our interpretation of what happened in Season 3 is wrong, that they're planning on bringing her back in some poorly written way in the future. It was really poorly done, in my opinion, and it was very upsetting to me. I did not like that episode.
I just take it as non-canon, and I'm just like, they They just did it for effect and
But I mean,
more
okay,
funnies.
it's non-canon, but it happens between seasons 2 and 3, according to what we'd been told. So
I don't
really-
remember ever hearing when it was actually done.
Well, at the end of season 3, nobody's at the school anymore, and all of this is taking place at Beacon.
I just take it as they're just shitting around.
Beep! Alex strikes again.
They are non-canon.
I can't let an episode go non-bleeped.
You can't. I don't know why. It's okay. It's not really okay, but it's okay. It didn't seem necessary to me to make the deal out of it that they did, and the way that they made a deal out of it in that episode felt stilted and awkward and wasn't funny.
I was okay with it.
Anyway, I've given my reason for not liking it. What are your reasons for liking it?
Like I said, I don't really connect it with actual RWBY, so they can pretty much do, for the most part, what they want. As long as it's enjoyable, sure.
Sure. So, you saw the latest episode, 2, as well.
Yes.
2 as well. 2 as well. What latest episode? What happened on the latest episode? I've lost my place.
Jean didn't really care for his sword and shield, so he went into the RWBY gals' bedroom and found their weapons and started messing with them. But
No, that's a katana. That joke is never... They're not going to let it die. That's been in 3 of the episodes, 4 of the episodes so far.
yeah, they're trying to make it stick.
They're trying to make it stick. I mean, as one-liners go, it's okay. It's a good one. I enjoyed it. What I think my favorite part of the episode was at the end when John gets caught. He just owns it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so should we get on to RTX?
Yes. That was the end of the cliffhanger. We just wanted to talk about Pyrrha.
RTX. RTX. Joseph, what are you doing for RTX?
Joseph.
Just silence. We apparently killed Joseph. Malachi, what are you doing for RTX?
Probably gonna be sitting here in front of my computer.
Sounds healthy.
Awesome.
Yeah. In honor of it, maybe I'll watch some stuff on RTX. Well, I can watch day 5.
Stream.
I just
Oh, there's that
realized
too.
Joseph said be right back.
Oh, was that Joseph? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I saw the BRB and I was like, that was Malachi. He's gone again. Sorry, I just assume that when I see a BRB down there, it's Malachi. I apologize.
So Malachi, you're going to be watching some of the streams then of panels possibly?
Yeah, I'll check it out. Maybe to pique my interest in more RT-related things, because I'm still getting used to like some of the things and finding my niche that I will enjoy within the RT community.
I think that he should watch the stream of our panel.
Or is the P4 going to be streaming?
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Assuming that
the
they
idea.
stream everything.
Or do they stream all the?
Very, very few of the panels do not stream.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Maybe I should watch it so that way I can harass you guys later.
I think Joseph wants you to harass us during.
Just all of a sudden your phone starts blowing up mid panel.
Well, my phone blows up on enough of the podcast. I suppose that would just make the panel more accurate to the podcast.
Tristan, what are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be guardianing. I'm going to be teching for different rooms. I'm going to be running all over the place and making sure that streams are running and laying wires down and all that kind of stuff.
Ooh, fancy.
Sir, what about you?
I am also guardianing, but I am part of line management, so I'm going to be making sure people are in lines properly while also trying to give them a fun time so that, I don't know, maybe I'll give them such a fun time that they would rather stay in line than go into the panel.
All right, then. I think you should probably know that the lines team has been being bad-mouthed thoroughly on the tech team thread lately.
What?
Yep.
Give me the scoop.
Apparently, if you are deemed unworthy to be on the tech team, you get banished to the lines team.
Whoa. That's not cool.
I don't know what's going on, but I think Tristan just trash-talked Alex.
I totally did.
The lines team is getting trash-talked by the tech team.
Just in general, or is Tristan doing it on behalf of the tech team?
No. They did this without my provocation. and I think it was great.
Fight, kiss,
Mostly
kiss.
because Alex is fight, don't kiss.
So what did I miss? Where are we in the podcast?
We're talking
There
about
was
RTX.
the 3 minutes of silence while we waited for you to return.
Yeah, we were like, Joseph, what are you doing for RTX? And we didn't see your BRB.
Well, okay, I needed to check on the kids. I needed to change Sarah into her pajamas because Gina's at her mom's house right now. But
I'm
she's
not-
drinking
I'm not-
milk. You want to ask me the question again, or have we progressed beyond that?
Ask the question.
Yeah, Joseph, what are you doing for RTX?
Not a zilch, except for what I get to do on Saturday. I couldn't afford the weekend stay, so I held on to my weekend pass to support Rooster Teeth, and I'm going to drive down on Saturday. I've signed up to get something autographed for my sister, the signing that's 3 different voice actors from Red vs. Blue, and our panel, and then I'm just going to hang out with people and then go home, and then cry all weekend.
Now, did you know that Rick Guerrero is going to be on a panel?
I did know that. I saw him say that on his Twitter, that he's going to be on some sort of animation panel, I think.
Yes, on the same day that we're having our panel.
I have to drive at least 3 hours, including traffic, in order to even get to the convention center. But I don't think I'm going to get to Austin until probably noon, 11 or noon on Saturday.
Cutting it close.
Oh, I know. It's just, it's a long drive, and that's the only day I can make it. So, Rick, I wish you all the best, and I hope your panel's great. You think you heard me?
Hey, Rick. I think
Yay,
he heard
Rick.
you.
So,
Yeah.
did we already talk about the fact that this is the episode people are going to listen to on their way to RTX?
They should listen to this on their way to RTX.
Well, everyone that's
Yeah,
We have
attending,
now talked about it.
everyone that's attending
We have now
RTX.
talked about it. Okay, go ahead.
Everyone that's attending RTX. I'm done.
Everyone who's going to RTX, if you're traveling and you have some time to kill, you should take a look at this. And
Alex, why
I
are you
mean,
telling
if-
people who are listening to this to listen to this?
That's some inception.
The message
shit
you
right
should be
there.
giving them is thank you for listening to us.
you should listen to the rest of this. Don't stop right now. You might as well just keep going
Don't
and just
stop
go away.
listening. So did you guys talk about your RTX plans?
Yeah, we talked about how we're going to be guardianing during the day,
Mhm.
and Malachi might be watching the streams.
Oh, yeah.
At night, I'm going to be going to the RTX side quest, like I have the past 2 years. Tristan, are you going?
I'll try, but it's really hard to know with Deck Team. Sometimes we're kept very late.
I heard that SideQuest was going to be super duper yay.
Yes, it is. Because it's...
is the new
Yes,
president.
thanks.
Stole your thunder.
Yeah, the new president of SideQuest, go to twitter.com/superduperyay. That is the new CEO. It's an awesome username, and she's actually quite a cool person. So, Alex, say hi to her for me, because I wanted to be a Spectre this year, and I can't even go, so
I will do that.
it makes me sad. So I guess, is that it for RTX talk, other than the fact that people should come to our panel? We've revealed everything we're doing, right? We've got a video that everyone will have voted on, the top 5 moments of P4 since our last video, which was from last RTX, as well as Twitter games, where we give out prizes. We didn't say what the prizes were, did we?
No.
Okay,
we
good.
are not.
So should we say that now, or are we going to save that until literally 2 days from now?
They might not come to the panel once they find out what the prizes are.
Yeah.
The prizes are kisses from Alex.
Ooh. Wait, guys, we can't say that. If they do, we might not have enough room for everyone.
Alex, are we eligible to get the prize?
Only if you are able to answer a question correctly on the Twitter games.
Because that's 110% homo.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys trying to make people come, or are you trying to make people not wanna come?
Whoa, phrasing! Whoa! Whoa, hey, Riff
Trying to make
Tracks.
people not come to the panel. Jeez, Malachi.
Hey, Riff Track. Anyway, then after that, we were going to have a short segment of people getting to ask us questions, I think. And then after that was table reading. And Tristan and I will have, by this point, likely come up with what that table reading will be, since Alex already did his job, which was the Twitter games. Come to our panel. It is 3:30?
3:30 in room 4
In the
of
Austin
the
Convention Center.
ACC.
Yeah. So come and
On
hang out with
Saturday.
us. And we're going to have Stuart on there, the guy who waves his truncheon around at the bowling alley.
Yeah, which I'll be. I'll probably be seeing Stuart. He'll be one of the first people that I see at RTX because my plane gets in at 3:30 and his plane gets in at 4. So I'm like, hey, I'll just wait for you. And then Andres said that he would drive us into the downtown.
Andres is such a champ. What you should do is both of you sit in the back. And,
have him be our chauffeur.
Yeah, and call him Alfred.
Alfred. What
And
about
then
Jeeves?
Well, if you do Alfred, you can be Batman.
Oh, that's right. I can be Batman.
Why are you stripping right in front of me?
I want to be Batman. Okay.
That part.
Malachi will get that
Great
one day.
segue
Yeah, speaking of... Wait, how's that a segue? That wasn't cut.
into reminiscing about the old episodes of stuff we've done.
So we're going to reminisce about things that happened in old episodes, and especially things that got cut from episodes. So the 110% homo, can you guys explain that? Because I wasn't even there for that episode.
It's, just Alex and I being our usual homo selves,
Yeah, there at one point, I was like telling Tristan, I was like, I love you, Tristan. And then I thought about the no homo, and I was just like, full homo.
Full homo. 110% homo. Total homo.
So that's a joke that you guys have where you like to change the percentage, right? You like to increase the percentage of homo?
Yes.
Or go with numbers that are not even, like 114.6.
And then you had another thing from that, which was
Homo.
past Alex is future Tristan's problem. What is that?
Tristan, do you want to take this one or me?
Past Alex keeps making problems on the podcast and swearing so that I have to bleep him and things of that nature. Was there more to it that I'm forgetting?
I think actually the main focus was that when we are on P4 Craft, there are times when, as we're playing, I just get pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I get angry, and you guys have to edit
Salty
it.
is the word.
He gets so salty.
So salty. So that's really why I ended up saying, yeah, past Alex is future Tristan's problem.
You mean
Alex to be more happy on P4
You mean the
Craft.
fact that on the most recent episode of P4 Craft, which was when Tristan was making us dig and dig and dig and dig for gold, that Alex got so salty that there was a good 15 to 20 minutes cut from the episode because it was just us sulking while we were digging.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the whole future Tristan thing is the fact that whenever I miss an episode, Tristan edits the audio for me.
Yes.
But yeah, it was. He called me a jerk because I wanted you guys to get him sitting. He's like, that means we have to find Diamond, you jerk.
I think it was more than jerk. I think it was dick, more than likely.
Bleep,
No, I think it was
bleep, bleep.
Yeah, it was something. And like, yeah, you guys were like saying something about getting Diamond, like we have to get a pickaxe or something, or we have to find lava, and I'm just like, God damn, we have to find Diamond now, you dick.
He gets so angry every time I ask him to do anything.
Overall, though, I enjoyed how your scavenger hunt really just turned into an adventure. Like, the necessity of going to get a blaze rod meant that we also had to be in the nether. That was kind of an adventure, but then also, I really was trying my best to roleplay the aspect of talking to the NPCs that you were making us interact with, the zombie...
Yeah, I only apologize for not reciprocating better.
Sir, you're going to be okay.
And then he dies from being on fire.
Yeah, Gina was laughing at that too. Sir, you're going to be okay. Sir.
He's dead.
And the fact that I didn't even realize that Alex was the one who antagonized the witch, although to be fair, it's probably because she was following me, and that's why she wasn't attacking him first, but then he antagonized her, and I'm like, oh, it's on. She's attacking us now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, she's attacking. Yep, she's attacking.
She took 2 steps toward Joseph, and Alex is like, yep, time to kill her.
Then the fact that
She's on
Alex
a
was
rampage.
determined to murder Victor, our villager. He was going to kill him after all that trouble.
Yeah, because he kept hitting me.
The best part is that Victor's not even the first testificate that we had. We captured one, and then we had that whole video of Tristan constantly having to make them for us. And then right when we're about to cure them, I'm like, I think I'll remove this block. Yeah.
followed you out to the side.
I'm at a point where every time I watch that part, I'm like, I'm such an idiot. I don't even want to watch that part anymore.
It's cringe-worthy.
But
It's like,
speaking
why
of
did I do this?
things that have been cut in Minecraft, should we talk about the very first Minecraft video that we ever recorded so that I could get practice just having something in a program to edit?
Let's talk about that one, because I remember we went through a few phases with our Minecraft things where we did one perspective because we only had you recording, then we had me and you recording, then we went to a 4-player split screen.
Yes, so let's talk about the Diamond Sword Debacle. Because nobody but us knows what the Diamond Sword Debacle is. Can we talk about that?
I guess we can. Is
hurtful
Alex going to
memories.
kill me with my own diamond sword if we talk about this?
It was my diamond sword.
So you guys explain it from your perspectives. Tristan, from your perspective, what happened?
As I remember it, I was doing a little bit of trolling. I was digging up blocks in the floor of Alex's house and filling them with something.
And
some other block.
For the sake of clarity, this was on my server, the one that I can't host now that I have a different provider because I moved and they won't open the port for me.
And we were all in creative mode on this particular server, so it was double silly. Basically, we were setting up this town to get ready for like a D&D style game where we were going to have to roleplay our way through. And we had just gone and built our houses, and we were building up this town, this original village. And so I was trolling Alex by messing with the blocks in the floor of his house.
Remember, at this point, you had gone out of creative mode.
Right. I was no longer in creative mode because I wanted to be able to partake in other things. So I was messing with blocks in the floor of your house. You got pissed off and killed me.
Yes.
And when I went back in to collect my stuff, some of my stuff was missing. And so I demanded you return my sword because you had not killed me with a diamond sword. You had killed me with something else, and now you're holding a diamond sword.
I killed you with the diamond sword. I did kill you with the diamond sword.
But
And
see, Alex, he's giving his perspective because the video evidence does show that you killed him with a diamond sword, but he didn't remember it. He didn't see it.
Okay, keep going, Tristan.
It appeared more like a stone sword or a wooden sword on my screen, and I died because I was not in creative mode. And so when I went back to collect my things, my diamond sword was missing, and I'm not in creative mode anymore, so I couldn't give myself a new diamond sword. So I asked for it back, and we got into a long debate over the origin of the diamond sword you are now holding, during which you killed me like 3 more times.
One more time, I think.
You were getting quite adamant, too, Tristan. You're like, I don't know why you're lying about this. Just give me my sword. And then he would get mad and then kill you again and get salty over it. So then, Alex, what was your perspective?
My perspective was, I killed him with a diamond sword after he was being an a-hole, messing up my house, and I told him to stop, and he wouldn't, so I killed him, picked up a few of his things, not a sword, went and returned all of his stuff. He accused me. So then I adamantly told him, no, I didn't take your sword. He kept pushing the subject, and so I had to kill him again.
I was forced to kill him because he wouldn't stop accusing me.
Well, then Joseph decided, okay, to be fair, I'm going to take Alex out of creative mode to let Tristan kill him. I'm going to give Tristan, didn't you give him a diamond sword then?
Joseph killed you himself.
No, I killed you myself because I was sick of you murdering Tristan. Because from my perspective, I didn't care who had what sword. I just was tired of Tristan getting murdered. And I was convinced that either you had taken his sword, or maybe Tristan was mistaken and his sword was still in your house. So after that happened and you got real salty and logged off, I went down into the house, and I was like, Tristan, here, let me see what I can find. And so I walked around and picked up what was left on the floor. At that point, I looked at my inventory and went, oh, here's the diamond sword. So actually, both of you were right. Tristan was right that he had a sword. Alex was right that he didn't have it. So then I gave all the stuff back to him. So then cut forward a few days to when I was editing. I wanted to go back and show what had happened to the sword. So I went back and altered the video to be slow motion and like black and white and grainy or whatever. So I watched, and yes, Alex had the diamond sword. He killed Tristan, and he fell over, and I walked past Alex. At that point, I picked up the sword, and I was like, wait, what? And I went back and I looked at it again, and there it is. The sword's on the ground. I walk past it, it flies through the air and lands in my inventory, and I'm like, wait, what? Did I take the sword? And so then I'm watching the video again and going, I'm over here with eggs. I'm throwing, snowballs. I'm throwing snowballs at everyone while they're arguing over a sword that I took. And then I go and murder Alex, and he logs off, and Tristan's salty, and then I give him, oh yeah, I found it. Like, both of you missed it on the floor when it wasn't there to begin with. So that's the Diamond Sword Debacle. And that's on YouTube as an unlisted video at the moment, but we might actually release this at some point. It was just a few minutes of test footage that ended poorly, and it was my fault.
Name the video The Ocean of Saltiness.
The Ocean of Salty. Yeah, there was one point I was just pissed at Tristan. I was trying to just, like, change the subject, and it was, like, raining on one part of the map and not raining on the other. I'm like, why the hell is this doing this? It's
a biome issue because I placed the village on a terraformed island. The island had been Savannah Mountains, which was really weird, and I wanted to change it to just plains. But I didn't know that I had the ability to change the biome through a tool on MC Edit yet. So it was raining on the coastline, but then one block later further in it wasn't raining. And so right in the middle of this whole argument, Alex goes, why is it raining here but not on this block? Anyway, time to kill Tristan. So what are some other things that we recorded but never released to the public? Either a video or something that got cut from episode. Okay, there is episode 0, but it's going to be a long time before we release that, right?
That might be the last thing we ever release.
I just don't know. That was the first time we ever recorded, and I wonder whether Malachi should be allowed to listen to it since he's part of the group. Anyway, so what happened? We started off, we were like, yeah, it's going to be a podcast where we don't go over, say, 30, 40 minutes, and then we recorded for like 55 minutes. There was no clear intro, there was no music.
There was no Andres.
There was no. Well, okay, sure. So it was our first attempt at podcasting. We weren't very good with pacing. Our microphones were bad. We drifted to topics that we shouldn't have. How about we say that? Pretty quickly, actually, some topics that should not have been brought up were brought up. And it was interesting. So then we sliced off a good 15 to 20 minutes, and that was episode 2?
Yeah. That ended up being episode 2.
What are some other things that we've recorded that didn't ever release? There was the fact that our very first episode of P4Craft was originally 3 parts. But it ended up being that it was just 3 episodes, a total of like 45 minutes of just my screen, because I was the only one who recorded my screen. And it was just us joking around. At one point we were talking about our ideal date, and I wasn't allowed to answer because I was married for some reason. And Tristan, that was when you said that you took your ex-girlfriend to like iconic cities every year, which was just the most romantic thing ever, which is something that we kind of threw back to in a later episode where we talked about how good of a boyfriend Tristan was. That was in the Tappable episode.
The Tappable
episode.
Did Tristan leave?
I don't know. No.
I've been talking in a muted microphone for a while, though.
Nice. That makes me think of that time several times last year when we were still new to this whole thing, and like we would have ourselves muted or our mic wouldn't be turned on the settings of Skype or internet, and we would think, wow, they're jerks. They're not letting me talk.
Can't get a word in edgewise. They keep talking over me.
So fill us in on all the things you said to your microphone, Tristan.
No, I'm going to save that for a cut episode.
But we're reminiscing about things that got cut right now, so let's reminisce about a minute ago.
It was a joke. Most of what got cut off was agreement, and I was saying, yes, I was talking about the anniversaries that I had with my former girlfriend, and Haley got jealous.
Hey, I got jealous.
I think we all got a little
Can
jealous.
you take me to a restaurant in the highest point of an iconic city?
I could. I think your wife would want to go with us.
Actually, I was going back and watching all the old episodes, and then I was watching the cut version. And I was like, what did I cut? Because there was very little that I remembered that had been in the original version of episode 1 that wasn't there. But then I was talking to Gina about it. I was like, yeah, I was watching, and there was one part that was cut where we're talking about Tristan's ideal date. And I described it to her, and she's like, that is like the most romantic thing ever.
Yes, I am a romantic person, and it's sad that I don't have a girlfriend to share that romance with. Too bad for the women of the world.
It is baffling to all 3 of us. At least I speak for myself. It's baffling that you have not been snatched up. So, Alex, get on that.
Alex, snatch me up.
110% homo.
Okay, Tristan.
No, that's
130%.
That's 200.5%.
There you go, 200.5%.
So I think it's time that we move on to the next topic, which was my son's about to go to bed, and he was going to share a story with you guys, if that's okay.
Oh, yay!
So I've been Snapchatting today, a few snaps of my son telling a superhero story, because he loves superheroes. He's been watching Ultimate Spider-Man on Netflix, and he's been watching Avengers Assemble on Netflix, and he has a superhero story he wanted to tell, and I thought I might share it with the audience and with my fellow podcasters.
Yay.
Michael, you have a few minutes to tell your superhero story.
Okay, my superhero story is about a man called Ironhead.
I'll grab that.
Ironhead.
Yeah. Ironhead is just a man with a line coming down to his head and a line across. And then he has purple gloves, and he's just a hero going around hitting stuff with his purple gloves. And he can actually fly.
Oh, so he can fly and he can punch people with his purple gloves?
Yeah.
Sounds
So
pretty
tell them the
powerful.
story.
Okay, he's always trying to... Okay, so one day he decided to make a battle so he can fight, and he took some heroes away from their towns, and those heroes were helping him. And one of those heroes was Snake Eye.
Don't touch that.
Snake Eye is just a man, but that man, he looks like a snake, but he has a face, and he has arms and legs.
So he's a snake man.
Yeah.
So they're helping Ironhead save the day?
Yeah, and they're saving the day from a bunch of robots.
Robots.
Yeah, mean robots.
So what's the name of the bad guy they're fighting?
Robot Walker.
Robot Walker.
Are you thinking about Hangerback Walker, the magic card? Is that what you're thinking about? Michael,
not
why
thinking
is it
about
that every time your hands get restless, you come over and you find something that's breaking and break it? So he comes over and he's touching my playmat that I use as my mouse pad, and he finds a point in the corner where it's coming apart and starts pulling apart while he's talking. Why do you do that?
You gotta hold his hands, Joseph.
And he's grinning. He's got this huge grin. No, you say that. I was holding his hands. He kept touching the microphone. And I held his hands together for a second. I said, stop. Okay, so tell them who the bad guy is. What's he do?
The bad guy is just a robot, and he's really big with 5 legs.
Stop grabbing the wires.
5 legs.
5 legs.
Yeah.
So he's thinking about a magic card I have called Hangerback Walker. So go look up Hangerback Walker and you'll see what he's describing. He likes my magic cards. So is there anything else to the story, or was that the story? Did they win?
No,
No?
some of them got bombed by one of the robot in the
Oh.
in the middle.
So they died.
No, not all of them.
Not all of them, but they won.
This is a violent story, Joseph.
Did they win?
Well, the ones that got bombed just had to go to the hero nurse.
The hero nurse. Okay. Is that the end of the story? Are we done?
No, there's more. The heroes won.
Oh, there's more. The heroes won.
Yeah, because Ironhead got him stole the power from the bad guys.
What was
So-
the bad guy's power? Was it
The
to control
bad guy-
robots?
It was a sword with gold in it, which makes light.
You hear the fact that he's yelling this entire story?
Yes.
That's my life.
Because he's a child.
Everything is yelling. Everything is yelling.
But hey, at least the heroes won.
The heroes won, right?
Everything is
Yeah.
loud
Is
when
that the
you tell
end?
a story.
Say the end.
The end.
Okay. Okay,
The
both of
end.
you kids. Hi, Sarah. Both of you kids get out. We're going to finish podcasting now.
Okay, guys.
Oh, come here.
Okay, guys. If you never saw me before, then you might want to.
What's your name?
Michael.
Michael. Say it loud.
Michael.
He gets up right in
Hi,
the microphone.
Michael.
Okay, hi,
Bye,
Sarah.
Michael.
Hi, Daddy.
Good night. Okay, go play. Bye-bye. No, go get Bubba. Go. Get up. Go. Close the door, please.
This is why I don't have children, Joseph, but I will happily have children vicariously through you.
That really
Absolutely
sounds kind of weird to say that you're going to have children vicariously through me. I do not want to father your children
I'm going
or
to
mother them.
rehab children
Raise
vicariously
some
through you.
children.
So the next thing we're going to talk about was the D&D thing, right? Before we were done?
Yes.
Okay, so
Wrap up.
Run a D&D
yeah,
type
so I
game.
wanted to tell you guys a story, something I shared on Facebook. This was something I saw on Facebook, and it was a D&D story a dungeon master had shared, which is that their group had kicked down the door of a dungeon. Hold on, my daughter is crying. I'll be right back.
Should I do another song for this one too?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going.
We should go with the everything is yelling.
I'll base the recording so you talk
Everything is
about.
loud. You tell a story. Everything is yelling. When you live with Michael. Hi.
So whatever you just did will be in the riff, and I'm sure it was hilarious. Okay, so the D&D group had just finished kicking down the door of a dungeon and had just finished killing an orc in battle, okay? So the rogue loots the body. The dungeon master says, inside his pocket, you find a photograph of the orc with his wife, proudly holding up a little orc baby. On the back is a note reading, good luck in your new dungeon. Can't wait for you to come home just in time for the next baby.
God.
So the cleric says, I want to run a history check on the orc, and he makes a roll. And the dungeon master says, the orc's name was Edward. He was in the tribe of Urash, but traveled to Thane to work as a guard to afford money for his desperately ill son's medication. Against all odds, struggling against racism and mistrust, he managed to secure a job as a guard in the dungeons of this castle, where he used his diplomacy and giant heart to reform invaders into becoming better people. Today was his last day, that he was going home to his loving wife, son, and newborn child, proud of never hurting so much as a fly in his entire life. 2 months later, and the entire campaign is now focused on atoning for their sins against Edward the Orc. The end.
It remotely reminds me of the recent incident in my own D&D campaign where we fought a beholder, and the beholder eventually succeeded on a charm attack on my character, which made my character believe that they were longtime friends, and my character tried to defend him against the onslaught of the horrible party. And they eventually killed him in spite of my efforts, and there were many minutes spent chastising the party for killing poor George the Beholder.
I think it's brilliant for the GM to basically set a trap for the party.
Yes.
Lying in wait with this peaceful orc, and they look back on the encounter and think, come to think of it, he didn't fight back. We hit him for 3 rounds and he didn't fight back. We're horrible people. Not cool, GM.
We got to atone now.
Yeah, 2 months of getting money for little Timmy, essentially, is probably what they were doing. There's a player in my current campaign here at home, which is comprised of students from the college I teach at. One of them is my babysitter for my kids. Her character is like a teenager, like a young teenager, and she has basically a little Timmy brother that's crippled and lives in a box in an alley, and she's always trying to get money for him and go get an herb. Every time she brings up her brother, the other characters like roll their eyes like, oh, freaking little Timmy. But speaking of D&D games, Tristan, were you talking about the game that you recently started with people from the Rooster Teeth community that were inspired by the new Achievement Hunters series, Heroes and Halfwits?
I was referring to my own campaign that has been running on and off since 2009, but I do have a newbie campaign that I've been running with a couple members of the RT community who reached out to me looking for a GM. So I've got somewhere between 4 and 6 players, depending on who shows up, and they've just started off. They're in a lovely frozen world celebrating the many peaceful years of rule of a king, and where it's going to become more interesting from there.
I thought about that because you had wanted me to mention the fact that I am starting a D&D group. D&D is the loose term that people tend to use, right? Dungeons & Dragons, just meaning a role-playing game, which is going to be comprised of what? Tristan and Alex, as well as Andres and Flybarger, and a guy that I know from the Drunk Tanks days.
Yay!
It's going to be fun. Now, you guys had asked me before we recorded a question that you then were like, no, answered on the podcast, so...
Yeah, we wanted to... You keep using the term D&D, which I only actually use to mean D&D. If you don't mean D&D, don't say D&D. So...
I'm at a point where I just say D&D because it makes more sense to people that are outside the role playing aspect, like a layman's term. What I mean is a role playing group. I didn't specify because I wanted to ask you guys, and what I'm partial to is that for the past 2 or 3 years, I've been developing my own role playing game system, which is based off of successes and failures on a 6-sided die, much like Shadowrun is the best example. Not quite like the 80s GURPS kind of games where you could count pips, but more the recent trend in role playing games to say that 1 is bad, 5 and 6 are good, and then you just count up the goods and the bads. 2, 3, and 4 is nothing. And it's kind of like that, but it's like a generic kind of one-size-fits-all system. Get your character sheet made up in 30 minutes, and then let's play a game. You know, do you want to be Pokemon? Do you want to do D&D? Do you want to do Star Wars? Currently, I'm doing a group that is space, steampunk fantasy with no space travel.
Steampunk fantasy with no space travel.
The concept that we came up with as a group was kind of like EVE Online. EVE Online's concept, the MMO where you're in space and you have spaceships. The concept of EVE Online was that humanity found a wormhole and started going to this other galaxy and colonizing it. And that area is called New Eve, I believe. No, New Eden. And then the wormhole collapsed, and everyone that went in through the wormhole is now stranded on their planets because they have no way to get back to Earth, and their technology just sort of broke.
Whoops!
Yeah. And the concept here is that humanity has achieved space travel, as it has this other alien race that's basically tall kobolds, essentially, as far as their overall look, but they're reptilian, as opposed to being draconic. They both discovered wormholes near their systems, and the wormholes took them to a similar place in an unknown location. They both started colonizing planets, but then the wormholes closed and sent out an EMP burst, an EMP, if you will, that disabled all technology. And so now they're stranded on their own planets, and life has progressed since then. Life went on, and the protagonists in this particular game are descended from people who have been stuck on this planet for 2 centuries with this alien race, essentially stuck in a box canyon with the blues, is basically the concept. We're at a point where there was a huge world war between the 2 races. It was long enough ago that the generations now don't remember it. They weren't involved. So we're going to start our D&D game soon, and it's going to be cool, and we're going to talk about it here on the podcast occasionally. We'll tell some of the stories, and we'll see what we end up doing, what game we end up doing, what the setting is, but that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, well, I just wanted you to talk about it a bit because I got really confused, because you kept saying D&D, so I figured we were going to do like 4th or 5th edition or something like that. And then you said, well, it's a homebrew kind of thing, and so I wanted to know how
I'm
that
at a
came
point
about.
where if I say role-playing game with people who don't actually know what I mean, they might think I mean like a video game RPG, because they use the same terminology. I guess if I were to say like tabletop role-playing game, that might be specific enough. But what I meant was just a role-playing game. I'm sorry for the vagueness there, Tristan.
Yeah, so it helps the people who don't play this. For me and other people like me who play more than just D&D, it gets really confusing.
All right, so is that pretty much what we're wrapping up? Everyone at RTX have fun and enjoy yourselves and everything?
I hope that they enjoyed our reminiscing and rambling episode.
Yeah, that's basically what we wanted to do, right?
There.
Yeah, just a nice long episode of us chatting and having a good time and sharing stories and talking about our plans for RTX and everything.
Sharing stories of all the times we don't get along.
And Alex gets salty.
Salty Alex.
Super salty.
Super. 110% salty.
Yeah. So if you were listening to this and you traveled to RTX, that means you have no excuse but to come to our panel because it's going to be really awesome. We've really put a lot of work into this. We look forward to seeing you. If you see me on Saturday, then it's a rare occurrence. You should give me a hug and be like, hey, I spotted a wild Joseph.
A wild Joseph has appeared.
Stroke his beard.
Stroke my beard. It's a little bit trimmed because it was getting quite long, but it's still there.
Super effective.
It's not long, but it's there. So stroke my beard, give me a hug, say you're glad to see me because we might not see each other for another year.
I almost made a bad joke.
Don't make bad jokes, Tristan. Is Malachi still gone?
I guess so.
Okay. Well, I guess he's going to miss the goodbyes. I'll splice in a goodbye from him later.
Bye.
I look forward to seeing you guys in 2 days from when this releases.
Yes.
Yay. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Have fun.
Come to our panel.
Come to our panel. Come to our panel. Come to our panel. Come to our panel.
Come to our panel.
Come to our panel.
Come get
Panel.
kisses from me. Come get kisses from me.
So,
P4
Alex, are you
panel.
are you going to have an exhibitor booth on the floor? A kissing booth?
Yeah, kissing booth.
Come to our panel.
Come to our panel.
Malachi, come to our panel.
Come to our panel.
Come to our
I'll be
panel.
watching your panel.
You'll be
I'll be
watching
our panel.
stalking. I'll be stalking your panel.
That'll be awesome.
Stalk our panel.
Okay, bye everyone who's still listening.
Come to our panel.
Bye.